yeah, I should win just because you had the Timberwolves in the 8th seed.
Vasilevsky's been playing really well, and the Lightning have a great offense.
Yeah, it was a tremendous shot, and I've come to expect it from LeBron. I would say I wish the best for the Red Sox, but as a Yankees fan, that's really hard for me to do.
The biggest addition to me is Jalen Brunson.
Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers, and that's all I have to say. He's still a top 5 quarterback in this league, and there's nothing really anyone can do about it.
Why'd you have to name him? Like, seriously? Like, thanks, man.
Who would have thought 5 years ago that the Clippers and Nets would be facing in the finals?
How is Joe Burrow going to get the ball to them if his butt is already on the ground?
Crazy. And for the fans at home,
Hello, I'm Cy Mendenhall, and you're listening to Outsiders Opinions with Kevin and Austin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our MLB Opinions of the weekend. Not a great start for us. The man that will explain his message to me, Austin.
The MLB playoffs have been exciting, especially last night. The three of the series were sweeps, though, and one of them I think was a horrible series, not even close. And then the Orioles, it just, man, Kevin, they allowed 3 runs in 2 games and only scored 1 run and therefore lost both games. It's bad.
Yeah, and they haven't won a playoff game. They got swept by the Rangers last year.
They lost their wild card game in 2016.
Yeah.
So they haven't won a playoff game since 2014, which is over 10 years now.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, that's wild. So are you saying the Padres Braves, or was it the Astros Tigers? Or which
Astros
is the
Tigers
worst?
was good for a little bit. The Padres Braves, it just, even though it got close in that last game where it was 5-4, it always seemed like the Braves were chasing their tail.
Yeah, there are a lot of sweeps, and to me, I'm like, they're talking about the one game, and you have the Mets won the one game, and then of course the other teams. But to me, it was still competitive. The Astros are officially out. I think that's just a win for baseball, just because we all dislike the Astros. It was awesome. Everyone just came on.
That, Kevin.
Well, when did they ever like me? I guess when I predicted they'd win. So, there are good Astros fans out there, and I feel bad for you then. But they've had a good run. But the Tigers, I'm surprised they pulled it off because I believe it was listed as TBD for their second game starter.
Yeah.
And then I think they pitched 7 pitchers.
A lot.
Yeah, a lot. But, to that Mets Brewers series, what a way. And I saw the video. John Boy Media was going through the Devin Williams and sort of what may have been the reason Pete Alonso hit the homer off Devin Williams, who was a fantastic closer.
Yeah, I would say a top 3 closer in the MLB. The only one I know is better than him, or I truly believe is better than him, is Emmanuel Clase. I'd have to really think. There's a couple other guys I'm really close on as well, but he's up there, and it's crazy for that to happen. And Alonso, who's had a poor year, especially compared to his lofty expectations, comes through and keeps the Mets season alive.
Yeah, so I'm sure you saw the video of where he was talking about.
Yeah. Where the glove position was different for a changeup versus a fastball, and that's how maybe he was able to see that it was a changeup on the last pitch and hit a homer off of it. I mean, kudos to the guy who said that in the dugout for him, and kudos to him for taking advantage of it.
Yeah, and to me, I wanted to give a disclaimer for there may be some Astros fans. I like that part of the game in that they notice physically. They are not using a manual aid to see behind the pitcher and then banging on a trash can versus what the Astros did. To me, it's something noticing, okay, because the guy was talking about his gloves a little bit lower, and I'm like, how can you notice that in this point? So that could have not been the reason. To me, that's something nice. But yeah, I wanted to say that because there's a difference between using technology to know and then you're just using your own senses and someone noticing, that guy looks like it's a changeup and stuff like that. So I'm not sure what. Yeah, it's part of the game. And and that just stinks because I was rooting for the Brewers, but it is a great story for the Mets who both the guys they traded last year, Verlander and Scherzer. Scherzer dealt with injuries, and Verlander was left off the playoff roster against the Tigers.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I would say this is fun. It's exciting. You have some amazing stories. Yeah, all the teams that advanced, the Mets have an amazing story. Tigers, of course, Royals, and then the Padres. They're all in they advance from the wild card, and we have a lot of divisional matchups in this postseason.
Yeah. Both of the 6 seeds won, the Tigers and the Mets. So no 3 seeds survived. 1 5 seed, the Royals, and 1 4 seed, the Padres did. So the 2 division winners are already out.
Yeah, that's incredible. So, yeah, and now we go to the DS, which is 5. And do you just want to start into previewing these games?
We'll start off with the first one that we knew was going to happen, and that's the Royals and Yankees. The Yankees are going to have some big games, but I do really like the way they're going to match up against the Royals. They played well against them this year. If I remember correctly, I watched a good bit of those games. It's going to take a lot because especially the Royals didn't score many runs in the wildcard series. If they want to win this series, they're going to have to score more. While the Yankees are not the greatest offensive team in the world sometimes, and they have some bad games, they're not going to go 5 games without scoring 1 run, just like the Orioles did. So I do believe that the Yankees match up well, but the Royals do have great players. Bobby Witt Jr. is an amazing player. He should become second in AL MVP voting, and I do think this will be a good series. The pitching for the Royals is good. Same with some of the guys in the Yankees. We'll have to see how that matches up, and yeah, this should be a fun one.
Yeah, and to add about the Royals, their strength is starting pitching. When we talked about them this season, we were just like, their starters are incredible. They have an okay bullpen, and they have some great hitters. Some hitters are okay. So to me, it's going to match up well because you have frontline starters. That's something I'm trying to think in this new format. Having, of course, a plethora of starting pitchers is helpful in any case. But if you look at the Rangers, they had 2 major starters. They had Jordan Montgomery and Nathan Eovaldi. Then same thing with the Diamondbacks. They had Zach Gallen and who am I? Oh, man. He almost pitched a no-hitter in Game 2 of the World Series. Do you know who I'm talking? It's not Gallen. The starting pitcher.
No, wait.
Huh?
Wait. You're talking about the
Diamondbacks. He almost pitched a no-hitter in Game 2.
I can't remember. Wait. Was it Merrill Kelly?
Yes, Merrill Kelly. That's who it was. You have those 2 guys. Then you have Aaron Nola and oh my gosh, why am I struggling right now? Aaron Nola and Phillies pitcher 2 years ago. I think he's still on the
2 years ago. Kyle Gibson?
Strasburg. No, not Kyle Gibson.
Phillies?
It was like 2 front line. Yeah, Phillies.
Strasburg never pitched for the Phillies.
Who am I thinking of? It's Nola. Who's the other main guy?
Zach Wheeler.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with my brain today. So you have some frontline starters. You have that with the Royals, and there is more potential on the Yankees to have more than 2. You, of course, have Garrett Cole. Then you talked about Nestor Cortez. Can he get it back? Then there is Carlos Rodon. He has the potential of that. And then Gil as well. So that's something I'm very interested in. I would say hitting's going to come down to the stars and, well, the supporting cast. Stars, you can have Bobby Witt go incredible. Same thing with Judge. It's the supporting cast. And I think the Yankees have the edge in that aspect. So it's going to be a fun series overall.
Yeah. One thing, it's not Gil, it's Heel. That's how you
Heel?
pronounce it.
Yeah.
Yes, Heel.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm off. We'll get back. We'll try Cleveland versus Tigers next in the AL as well. And divisional matchup.
We got another AL MVP candidate in J-Ram, one that I think is extremely underrated. And they also have a lot of guys injured from early in the season. But guys like people were saying, well, Shane Bieber's out. Well, Shane Bieber's been out all season. So them being at this point is not because of Shane Bieber's absence. They have Naylor, who's playing amazing. Stephen Kwan's kind of fallen off a little bit, but he still is a great hitter. Andres Jimenez is a great second baseman. They have a good roster. I really do like them, but the Tigers are the hottest team in baseball. And it's where it kind of is who's going to win, the team with the best pitcher that's hot or the better team overall. And I could see it going either way.
Yeah, I could see it going either way as well. You brought up great players for Cleveland. My concern with the Tigers, they are hot. That is the advantage for them. Cleveland is a young team. They're coming off the bye. And just what experience level are they at? And I'm worried about the pitchers past Skubal because Skubal played one game halfway there for winning the wild card round. Now, I mentioned in game 2 of the wild card round, they had TBD. To me, it's putting themselves in a harder position if they have that for 3 games in a row. Or they just need to win.
Because he'll pitch game 5, though. So I think that he could get 2 games.
You can get 2 starts, yeah. Definitely. 2 starts from Skubal.
But that's if you make it to game 5.
You got to make it to game 5.
Yeah.
That's my concern with them. And with Cleveland, they have some solid starters, but they can, to me, have the advantage of the bullpen, as you've talked about. They can go to their bullpen earlier, and they still, of course, have a great closer.
Yeah, they have the easily, I think, the best reliever in baseball at the moment in Clase. Mm-hmm. That paired with a lot of other great guys in the bullpen, and I'm definitely excited to see what happens with a lot of their starters, because guys like Tristan McKenzie and some of their other young guys, this is going to be their first time seeing the playoffs. You mentioned that. What is it going to be, their experience level? How are they going to take it? And they have some older guys like J-Ram that's been there, done that. He's been to a World Series. He's seen a lot of different things. But these younger guys are going to get it to experience for the first time, and that's always exciting to see.
And speaking of that, you have Stephen Vaught, rookie manager this year, versus AJ Hinch, who has experience with the Astros, even though they did cheat to gain a lot of that experience. So that's going to be a battle to me. They both, to me, have managerial concerns of, okay, how am I going to combo this up for starting pitchers on the Tigers end? And then you have Stephen Vaught with when to pull your guys and bring in the bullpen. And I think it's going to be a great battle in between in the games of okay pitchers. So really, I would say equal opportunities on both sides for Tigers, Guardians, and as well with Royals and Yankees.
Yeah, both series should be good, and I'm excited for them.
Now we go to the NL, and to me, both matchups have sort of, I would say, considered a heavyweight in the Phillies and Dodgers. And then you have some guys who are, I would say, I would be surprised at the beginning of the season that they made it to the playoffs, given just what they were doing last season and what they did over the offseason. I'll let you choose which NLDS you want to focus on.
Let's focus on Phillies and Mets first. The Phillies have had a tough end of the season, and the Mets are the hottest team in the NL. They had to really fight to get their way into the playoffs, and they have done that. Kodai Senga will start the first game for the Mets. He's someone I'm excited to see, and I definitely do believe that the Mets have good enough pitching to win the series. It's going to come down to their bats. Can Lindor and a NL MVP candidate get it done?
Yeah, and you have the Phillies where they've done this a lot. They made it to the NLCS last year. 2 years in a row. So they're used to October baseball in this format. I believe they were a wild card team both times.
Yes.
So this is a different aspect for them. But you, of course, have Bryce Harper, the star. You have Trey Turner. They also went out and I thought they signed someone. Or am I totally... I don't think they did much this offseason. The Phillies... They've had Trey Turner. They've had...
any major moves. I know they signed some guys, but I don't think anything was too major.
So this is a well-built roster, and yeah, I agree. It's going to come down to the Mets bats as well. And I trust in the Phillies pitching staff as well. and I trust their hitting as well. To me, I would favor the Phillies as well, and that's to me why I consider them a heavyweight.
Yeah, it's just can they overcome their bad start or the bad stretch they're on while they're playing the hot team.
Mm-hmm. Now we go to Dodgers Padres, another divisional matchup. This is the second time they've met in the NLDS, and this is Ohtani's first game in the postseason. And we've seen the Dodgers be loaded with stars. Last year they played awful in Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts. How does Ohtani factor into this? And as well as the pitching staff. Same. Padres have a good pitching staff. It's sort of the bats as well. And I believe they do not have Hyosung Kim.
Is he out for the season?
I heard something about that, but let me check. Yeah, he's missing with a shoulder injury. He will not be part of the postseason run.
Yeah, that is a big loss, and but I do remember them playing a very hotly contested regular season series just a couple of days ago. I mean, the Padres and Dodgers are heated rivals. There's a lot of big names between Manny Machado and they have Dylan Cease, Joe Musgrave, Fernando Tatis Jr. Obviously, a lot of great guys. I think the advantage pitching wise goes to the Padres. I think the Padres have the better starters. And the relievers are close, but I do think I give the edge to the Padres. It's going to be how much can the Ohtani-led bats impact the game.
Yeah. Talking about, I would agree. Padres get the edge in the starting rotation, even though you have guys like Walker Buehler, Clayton Kershaw, Yamamoto, Jack Flaherty, and then there's Landon Knack listed for them. But we remember Kershaw last year struggled against the Diamondbacks. Buehler's coming back from Tommy John this season. This is the season he's been back, and then Yamamoto hasn't pitched in the playoffs before. And Jack Flaherty has kind of been a guy, had high hopes in St. Louis and kind of was great on the Tigers, but let's see what happens. A lot of unproven guys recently in playoff pitching. Of course, Kershaw is a great pitcher, but he did struggle in playoffs, but he was able to get it in 2020. So, yeah, and then Padres, when they made it to the NLCS was because of their pitching staff when they went. So I trust them more than the Dodgers.
Yeah. I don't believe that the Dodgers could do it again, where it's going to be like as bad as it was last year. That was historically bad from Mookie, from Freddie, from their entire team. Pitching, hitting, everything went bad. The games weren't even all that close. I don't know if I could see that happening again, but the Dodgers have to prove it.
Yeah, and to me, I don't see Ohtani doing that. I think he's going to come out just roaring out of the gates. I wouldn't be shocked what stats he puts up in the first playoff series. I'm worried about Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts, which I know is crazy to say, but they were 0 for 21 last year. So it's going to be tough, but I would be really shocked if Ohtani does not play well in the playoffs.
Okay, that's your hot take of the day, I guess.
Yeah. Shouldn't be a hot take, but yeah, it's tough with the Dodgers and just their regular season prowess and playoff struggles. So that's all I got. Let us know your thoughts and opinions in the comments. We appreciate you listening to Outsiders Opinions, and we will be reviewing this once this happens. Who knows what can happen? That's basically the anthem for this MLB playoffs, and we enjoy it. Thank you for listening to Outsiders Opinions.